All right. Well, welcome to the show. I told you we're going to be bringing y'all little fling bites here and there throughout the week. We have an extremely important guest this evening. Someone I've been watching play since he started pretty much. I've got to play a few rounds with him beforehand. His game just exploded through the roof. And this weekend, he took home a huge win up there at Moody's Ranch at Red Rock. I want to introduce you all to somebody you better be keeping your eye on, because when we talk about up and coming players in our area, we got a lot of them. But this young man right here, I see big things ahead for him. Mr. Will Hickey, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on tonight, and congratulations.
I appreciate it, man.
Amazing win this weekend. What was it like to you? What was it like to take home that trophy that day?
It was kind of a new experience, but at the same time, I didn't feel like the pressure, like it just felt like almost like a casual round, because the people in my car were so cool for both rounds, and yeah, the win was awesome. Awesome.
That's a good way to play. I feel like I was pressing the whole time. I feel like I thought I was going to be competing. I thought I'd be on lead card. I thought I'd be pushing to try to beat Jay, all that stuff. And those muscles, need to be relaxed. So it's good. It's good.
I just felt smooth. Just felt smooth all weekend, like especially my flicks. My flicks were on, and when my flicks are on, it's game over, and
I kind of kidded you a little bit about the win. You had said something about having a wonderful caddy there. Him and I got to play it the week beforehand, and Chrissy and Neil were able to show us the course. And I cannot tell you how much that mattered. They were really able to tell us where to go and where to shoot. And I know you and Brian have been great friends for a long time. That's how I met you, was through Brian.
Yeah.
And I know that y'all been, playing and all that. And I guess having him there also had to help a whole lot, even though I kind of, I like to chide y'all a little bit about that, but I know that had to make you feel comfortable too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Having him there was a huge help with having my headspace right, but also with him having the cart, that took a whole lot of stress off me, because I played the practice round on Friday, and that was kind of tough, not gonna lie. The hills are kind of tough, and the stopping and going and all that, it was just a lot, and having him to pull my stuff was really nice.
Yeah, so it was good to have friends for sure. So what was your favorite course? Which side? You had the Fire on the Mountain, and what was the other course called? I always forget.
Estimated Profit. Estimated Profit.
Yeah,
I don't remember the names, but
the first one you played was Profit. The second one you played was Fire on the Mountain.
That was the one I liked, Fire on the Mountain. I like that one a lot. That one was sweet.
Well, the way you shot it, everybody would have loved it if they shot it like you did.
No, it's a great course. It was the first time I was ever out there. And so Friday, I really tried hard on my practice round to imagine what I was going to throw on each hole. And if I was in a certain spot, how I could try and get out of that. I threw a whole bunch of shots Friday. So I was prepared, on game day.
For the pro side, it seemed like almost every hole there was an option, left or right, big crush over the top or safe hyzer out.
Absolutely.
Is that the way it was from the shorts?
That's how it was for me too. My flicks are my strong point. And so if there's a route where I can flick, then I'm going to flick it.
Mm-hmm.
But the backhand game is starting to come along pretty strong too. So, that was a huge help.
I heard somebody talk about, that the shortening of the course and the short version of the course wasn't, I don't know, somebody was dissing it. And I thought it was a lot of the holes were more interesting than the longs on the Fire on the Mountain. And so, that made it for me. I wish I would have played in intermediate with you guys.
Yeah, Brian was in my ear, so Brian wants to get this
I think that the shorts still had, I mean, it had a whole touch of the game the longs didn't have.
Yeah.
You know, I think either way, long, shorts. I mean, Will was incredible why he was just on, but he's got that part of the game where it's like, okay, I can just throw my zone and probably park this hole.
That was a huge thing too. Yeah, my up shots were on point.
Mhm.
You know, if I had a, an okay drive, I was like, okay, whatever. So, like more than half my shots were flicks, and I love my zone, so it's a go-to for sure.
Yeah, I found that same thing with the flick game myself, and I wish that Brian would have been there with me because I was pin high, but I kept just leaving it straight, and I just couldn't get off of being straight, and I scored well, for me playing there. But I want to say something that Hickey had kind of.
By the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I want to say something that Hickey had kind of brought up, and I think you kind of touched upon it upon your Friday practice round. I don't know if you were about to say something about it, but Hickey and I, when we went and played it, that kind of ground is not typical for what we play on down here. Typically, the ground we play on is a little more solid, a little less high grass. The walkthrough, your momentum, and those things do change at Moody. And I remember Hickey saying that beforehand. He kind of gave me the thought it's kind of like playing in sand. And so it made me change my walk up, and it made me change my flick game from maybe really trying to get down it and take a few steps to get to it versus just popping the wrist and just taking the distance and the direction versus, trying to really get on something. Did you find that same balance?
Yeah. 100%. Like I was playing the holes in the back on the first course. Was it
Profit?
Estimated
profit. Sorry. Especially on the back holes, like around the lake and stuff. Like all those were soft. Like I noticed when I would plant, I would I don't know. It was weird, but like that I did take into account. Coming into the actual round.
Yeah. Our tip was from Neil, Chrissy's husband. He said, don't worry about, teeing off from the very front of the box. Just find the spot of grass. And so that's all I did the whole weekend is look for that hard grass. Did you guys stick around for the party?
We came back.
We came back to the campsite for a little while and hung out,
Yeah. How was that? Did they have?
It was cool.
I heard AP had some kind of putting games going on.
Yeah, they were throwing a bunch of discs across the water for some money. I don't remember how much, but I wasn't trying to lose anybody's disc, so I was like, nah, I don't want no part of that.
Yeah. Did you have any run-ins with the cattle? Did you have any run-ins with the cattle?
I did not, thank God, and I'm so glad I did not land in
the cattle.
Kelsey has a video of Dominique shoeing a cow off of the second tee box from her round. She went out at 8:30 both days, and she got up and asked if she could go shoe this cow, and they were like, yeah, you just walk up and clap. And so Kelsey, of course, videoed it. I'm waiting to see it, Kelsey, if you're watching.
Yeah, we need to see that. We heard from Chrissy how to do it. She taught us how to do it last night.
Yeah, if you got two discs, just clap them together. They'll move pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
A cow doesn't want to be anywhere closer to you than you want to be to that cow.
Yeah, they seem cows around.
They seem pretty, aware of what's going. I mean, not aware, but they're pretty cool with the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
they're used to it.
That was different.
Hey, Will, was this your first real out of town tournament? Or have you played one? So it was your first one.
My first actual rated tournament. Like I played leagues and I've played the doubles tournaments like at Texas State, but this is the first tournament I've actually played where it's actually just me. And yeah, I thought I did pretty well. I stayed in my head. I was like, I have a plan, just trying to get any bogeys. And I did that the first day, but the last day I got one on almost the last hole. On 17. Hit low, hit cage, but I was like not worried about it,
That was your only bogey?
Yeah, one bogey. One
So-
bogey.
So does BZ give a trophy for that? Is that the deal with bogey free? Chris, do you know anything about that?
I haven't heard
I'm
anything
not
about that.
I'm not sure about that at all. I don't know if that's the case, but that's an amazing round for sure, because no matter where that basket is, and they can say distance all they want, you still have to be able to get it close and put it in. So what
Oh,
you do
yeah,
is amazing.
Exactly.
I don't want to give you
that
away.
one bogey. I think I took responsibility for, because it was the one time he asked me where I thought he was, since they didn't use live scoring. And I was like, look, you're either tied with this guy or you're one ahead of this guy, but you just make
Just try
sure
to
you
get a birdie.
just try to get a
In
birdie
these last
and
two holes,
seal
try to get a
it.
birdie. That's what he told me.
And then so it was hole 17, the last round, and he got a bogey, and I felt so responsible for that.
Felt the pressure on 18. I'll tell you that.
And then he parked 18 though, so
Almost
eagled
had an
it. It
eagle.
was like,
Hit
okay,
chains,
Never
dropped
mind.
out for eagle.
you won.
Man,
Hey, Rob.
that's one thing I've learned about, caddying for somebody. I caddied for TJ Straub one time at where were we? I can't remember if it was Texas States or whatever, and he was killing it. He was like 7 down through the front 9. And then I made the stupid mistake of saying, man, you're probably beating some of the open players. And then right after that, he goes bogey.
I tried
Got in his
really
head.
hard.
Yeah,
to
it's
not
like
tell
I
him.
put that
It was
in
a
there,
tough
man. You
hole.
got to be careful with your words when you're caddying. In fact, don't say
Yep.
a thing, just little encouraging things, like you got
Yeah.
this. It's okay. Be positive the whole time. Just
Yeah.
you're the voice of
And they were.
positivity. Because when you're playing and you're competing, the voices of negativity get in your head. You're like, oh man, if I blow past this putt, I better put it like this because I might be down there. So as a caddy,
Exactly.
you got to be that guy that says, you got it. Don't worry about it.
Calm down, relax, And
Yeah.
he did that.
I mean, I feel like
He
I
did
was
that. And having Reef there and David, that was nice too.
Yeah, them coming
Felt-
back
Felt
was nice.
yeah, real comfortable.
Yeah.
Hey, I know your history and background as far as the sports in which you come from. And I could tell the first time we ever played together, I was like, I knew exactly what you played.
Yeah.
Give the viewers a little idea of your background and your sports. And if you think that benefited you moving forward, because obviously I think it has tremendously, because you can see it in the way that you play.
Yeah. So baseball is my number one sport. You can't tell already. I used to pitch. I played for 18 years, actually, from the time I was 4 years old until I graduated. So, or not 18 years, 14 years, sorry. But yeah, I played all the way until I graduated high school. I played in the Big League World Series, played like Australia, Tokyo, Mexico, Russia, a bunch of teams. So that was cool. That was like the last little, the hoorah of my baseball career. And after
Being
that,
a pitcher, though, don't you think that kind of helps you? because Dave and I pitched and played, we were both quarterbacks and point guards on our team. So
quarterback
it
too,
makes
yeah.
it makes you kind of responsible to the utmost for your team and now for yourself. But do you find that has benefited you, that confidence that you can throw that
100%,
strike,
and
get it
also
done?
being a pitcher, you're used to taking the pressure, and like that's been huge for me. And also with when I putt, I don't get like distracted real easily, because when I'm a pitcher, there's all kinds of stuff going on in the stands and a bunch of people talking and doing stuff. So
Yelling and screaming and
that was a huge help for my head game.
That's a good point, because you're definitely the person that everybody's watching when you're the pitcher.
Yeah, exactly. All eyes on you.
That explains a lot about, because my pitching, Chris, you said pitcher. I was a first base and center field later. But yeah, my pitching debut, we had I think like a 15-run lead, and so the coach tried me out, and they almost caught us.
Oh no!
Realized quick that David was not the pitcher.
Not the pitcher, no.
No,
There's
yes,
a lot of pressure in
learn.
that. Yeah.
We pretty tall, so a first baseman would make
It's
sense.
just a different
Yeah.
part.
And a lefty.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
have you thought moving forward about being sponsored? Would you like that in the future? Is that something that you're kind of thinking about?
That would be awesome.
I tell him all the time he needs to just go pro. He needs to, Just
I don't know about
work
that.
on it more serious and just go pro. The dude's
No,
got
yeah.
a cannon.
I would love to be sponsored, to travel and play courses I've never played before, meet people I've never met before, and experience things that I haven't gotten to experience yet. Cause I haven't like traveled much as a kid. And so like traveling and play tournaments is like the best thing ever for me. And we had a blast this weekend at Moody's.
Oh yeah.
Jay did a great job putting on that tournament. The main reason why I went to the tournament was just to go and support him. And I was telling all the homies, we're just going to have fun, And then I went and shot that first round, and I was in the lead, and I was like, look, I'm chilling. I'm not doing nothing this weekend, like I'm trying to win this. And so that really helped too, not getting all crazy like everybody else was. Not everybody, but a lot of people.
Hey, we were talking about this yesterday about how those hot rounds, there's a lot of times, I mean, unless you're, Wysocki and Macbeth and those guys where you just expect it, but they seem to kind of pop up out of nowhere. You're like, you get hot putting, and then all of a sudden you look back and you go, wow.
Yeah. And so the other thing too is, I told myself I'm not going to play a tournament until I actually feel like it's time to play a tournament. And so I've been playing for like Chris said in the last Bling show for about 2 years now. And in that time, I've been trying really hard, trying on my drives, on my putts, on my backhands, trying really hard, playing more leagues so I can feel like kind of like pressure and stuff like that when I putt, when I drive. And that's been huge for me right there. Just practicing, putting in that work.
Did you watch any of the Pro Tour and Conor O'Reilly? Did you watch him play?
He watches all of it.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to watch it yet because
isn't he a baseball player?
About this weekend,
I think he comes from baseball.
Yeah.
But if
congratulations to him too, by the way. That's so
excellent.
Awesome.
Definitely. If you want it,
though, for 5 years,
if you want it, you can have that. You can get that stuff too.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to play up as fast as I can and get as good as I can. Because if you practice with the best, then you play the best.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I've always gone by.
I was about to say something about the gentleman sitting next to you. It's always kind of nice to be able to play with other skilled players and players that give you a run for your money. I got Hemi, and it's not like he gives a run. I give him a run for his money, but it's nice to play with somebody who you get to watch, who has skill levels, who can putt well, who can see what you do wrong and give you good advice. And we're lucky in this area, besides Brian next to you. I know you play with a lot of other guys too, but that's a very positive thing that we have in this Houston community, especially up here in the north.
Having Brian show me the game, and he's introduced me to a lot of amazing people. He got me plugged in straight away in the leagues and stuff. You and Hickey and Jay, I met Jay really fast, and I've been trying to support you guys. Like I put the match play. I can't wait for that. I've been talking about that lately.
I told you, Hickey.
Waiting on that.
Make sure he plays advanced this time, though.
Yeah,
I might try it. I might try advance this time.
Well, think about where we were back then. Maith was playing advanced. I can't. Yep. Mayo,
Franklin, Moragas.
I remember Franklin was playing in advance. I remember that.
Yeah, and all those guys will be in. I guess assuming in the Open. You guys think of doing a kind of a match play style putting championship.
That'd be cool.
So it's kind of like what AP does, same exact markings, but we do it on brackets, and you seed in, and then you play it through the bracket. So it's a double elimination.
And you had mentioned that to us, and that was something we're definitely interested in.
Yeah, we don't want to stir something up like that, because that's something we could do with the individual groups, intermediate, rec, open,
each division. Yeah,
we could do those separately, maybe even on different days, and then we could have the championship of each one all in one day.
Yeah, so, all in one.
Say it's you two guys in the championship. You go down through the bracket on that one first day, and then everybody comes together, and it's all the championship matches of all.
Yeah, you could even break it in just like in
kind of locked up on my end. Are you hearing anything, Chris?
I got you. They're locked up. They're not moving right now.
Okay. Well,
but I like that idea, Hemi, and I'm telling you right now, we're just getting bombarded with people with the match play for sure. They just cannot wait. I mean, plus it's getting cooler outside. So
it is, as it gets cooler, we said we're going to wait till it gets cooler because we learned from last year. It's like it's hard on our phones, and everybody knows we just film it live with our iPhones. So our iPhones.
Last summer was tough.
This weekend was hot too at Moody's.
Yeah.
That was a factor.
Nice. The first we decided was Blazzin. Second day was Blazzin.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
The Blazzin, the lucky ace Blazzin, Dazzin open.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, though, but we had a good time there too. And Will, I like what you just said earlier. You said that you went there also, not that you were ready. You knew you were ready, but it was also to support Jay. And that's a big reason why we went as well. Support Jay and Chrissy and the Austin community that's been really nice to us and the Fling Show and supporting us and showing us love. And we wanted to make sure that we gave back to them. So I'm really glad that you pointed that out because that's what our community has always been about, is the support that we show. So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, no doubt. It's been for a long time. It's been kind of Lucky Ace Fling Show connection ever since Jay and Stevenson and all those guys that you like to call Marcus Stevenson came into our Matt's studio when Matt was around, and so it's always been kind of a love between those two groups, and we really appreciate what Jay's doing.
Sorry, we lost you for a second.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right, they're good back. But I just wanted you to kind of expound upon, that and that support that you were showing for Jay.
Yeah. I mean, Jay's a great person. He's so cool. I met him at Northside, I think, with Brian one time, and we hit it off. And he was telling us about his brand and his company. And I was like, bro, I mean, I'm trying to get on that. So he hooked me up with some shirts. I always every time I play, I'm always spreading his name. Everyone always asks me, hey, you're with the Lucky Ace guy? I'm like, nah, he's just a homie, you know what I'm saying? And so that's pretty cool, like that there's people around here that know the company. And I'm just trying to expand that for him, just trying to be a good friend.
Well, the reason why I asked you earlier about the sponsorship is that Hemi and Chrissy and Meredith have really allowed the Fling Show to have a lot of people on here who are in the positions of sponsoring players. And the things that we have noticed that they have said, number one, that needs to be done is that social media, getting out there and really, showing the love for the sport and just a whole lot of posting. The second is, and which I think you have in spades, is how you carry yourself and how you handle yourself. I think you've got that down to a T, and the respect that you have from others. And then lastly, which most of them always kind of said towards the end is how good really are they in their game and how dedicated are they? But, as far as suggestions moving forward that I think Hemi or I could say to you, maybe go back and watch some of those guys from Mint and Innova and Discraft, but really get that social media up. And if it's not something you're into, have somebody do it for you. I mean, it's well worth it, especially if you're looking for that sponsorship.
No doubt.
I think it might be locked up again.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's about what we, can cover for the night, see if they can get hooked back up. But
yeah.
Hey guys.
Really, showing the love for the sport.
There we go. You're back.
Hey, maybe before we lose them again, we just go ahead and ask the final question if you'd like to, Hemi.
Yeah. Will, you got us? Can you hear us?
Freezing up on me. Hold on. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear you good.
It's okay. It's a Fling Show. People expect this kind of stuff.
We do it all the time.
We're used
it's
to
Brian.
No, we
bad caddy, terrible caddy.
Just wanted to know.
Whoa! Pump the brakes there, Captain.
Is there anybody?
I've caddied one time in my life now, one time in my life, and the guy the whole time won. That I feel like that makes me 100%.
Scorecard.
Scorecard. It really is a scorecard thing.
Yep.
That was the first time in my life I'd walked the course four times, really, because I caddied for Dom up until like her 9th hole on her 2nd round, and then I had to go back up and meet him. That was the first time I'd ever done that without playing.
Super caddy. So
but it was I had so much more fun watching him do that, though. It was great. I mean, when I met him, I played disc golf a few times, but it really wasn't my thing. And I was like, bro, come play with me. It's gonna be your thing. I promise.
Life changing.
And he came play.
I think we lost him one more time.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we just keep losing. The neat thing I think about that I keep telling people is I think I beat Will the first couple of times I played him, and then I never beat him again. So I knew that something special was in the air for sure. You know, it's only a matter of time, especially if he puts in the work. So it's very proud to see that from him, and I'm so glad he came on this evening. Hemi, you have anything to sell us before we go?
Yeah, thank you guys. I've been watching the feed, and people are watching, and people are interested.
To me, his goal is to beat me.
People are interested in what's going on with Will, and I appreciate the support for Will. Thank you guys for chiming in here on the comments. Sorry, I didn't really get any comments going, but anyway, Will, if you can hear us, is there anything you'd like to finish with? Anybody you'd like to thank? We'll give you the last few.
Brian, you know, huge shout out to Brian. He's the one that really got me into the game, you know, meeting a bunch of people. I made a whole group of friends that they're just awesome and supportive, and you know, especially like Ben Jones, Reef, the Fruins, you know, having Nate Clark there and Peter, and seeing how supportive they were of me whenever I won. I thought that was pretty cool too, knowing that they've been around for a while, and they're awesome people as well. You know, just all my close friends, my family, and last but not least, shout out to God.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I hope this will not be the last time we have you on the show, because I definitely see future success, and we would love to have you on again. And thank you so much for coming on tonight. Thank you so much. Peace.
Thanks, Will. Keep it up.